Hey everybody, my name is TheOtakuArtist, and welcome back to Let's Play Tomb Raider Underworld. In the previous episode, we returned to Laura's mansion to find where Laura's father had hidden the gauntlet, only to find that it was invaded by our enemies, and we lost Alistair. And now this adventure has become more personal than ever. That's not my usual tone for commentary, though, so let's brighten things up with a song. We are going through Tomb Raider Underworld. We are gonna play in southern Mexico. We are going to avenge Alistair. And nothing rhymes with Mexico. I'm sorry, I'm dumb. Alright, so we're playing through Tomb Raider Underworld again, and my commentary totally matches the tone of the game right now. I don't know what you're talking about. But we're going to be going through this area, and there's always that one part of the Let's Play that you're going to dread recording. But this is a very special situation where I'm not dreading it because I don't like this level. I'm dreading it because, oh my god, my first playthrough, this took an eternity for me to figure out. So I practiced like crazy trying to memorize this level like the back of my hand, and I think I accomplished that. But we may not memorize the rest of the area. Whatever. You know what I'm trying to say. Alright, so this area right here, if you want an idea for how often I forget to come in this area, even though the cutscene right there made it very clear there's something important in this area, this is something that I wrote in my notes. So, important note, don't forget the jaguar head in the first temple for once in your miserable life. I wrote that to make sure when I record this video that I don't forget to come here. So yeah, this is pretty important. And also we're getting a jaguar head in this area pretty soon. Not a real one, but you know what I mean. We'll just go over here. And collect our sweet, sweet reward. Alrighty then. So let's go over here and destroy some of these jars so we can get some more rewards. And I'm just going to say this right now. These jars were a particular pain to memorize. I usually practice for these videos so that I can play through it smoothly without having to backtrack and things like that too often. I do have notes with me so that I can remember something if I do forget, but there's a lot to remember in this area. So that's going to be pretty fun. What's the safe way to come down in this area? I'm just going to drop. I don't care. We took a little bit of damage right there, but it's not that big of a deal. Alright, so going over here, we're going to be facing some new enemies. These are Black Panthers. Wakanda forever! I'm sorry, I love that movie. But yeah, we're going to be facing some Panthers in this area, so you would definitely want to be careful. There's two of them! There's two of them. They're scary. They are scary. How about my mommy? Alright, so we got that one, and why not? Unnecessary epicness. You only have like a little bit of HP left, but I don't care. And speaking of the weapons real quick, I want to bring something up that I completely forgot about. If you go into the PDA menu, you can go to Weapon Selection. Now, I thought for the longest time, this just demonstrated what kind of weapons you could carry in these games, because I have a clip on screen right now, but you choose your second weapon at the beginning of every region in this game. But you can also change it here. Like, we can equip these weapons instead, so I don't know why they do that. It's just a little bit distracting. So we're going to go over here, and also we're in our first motorcycle segment of Tomb Raider Underworld as well, and oh my god, I love how they changed the motorcycle segments. I wasn't sure what I thought about them at first when I first played through this game, because, to be completely honest, I didn't like how you can just keep going fast and fast throughout the entire thing, but I really like how they changed it. We're going to be seeing it as we go on, but let's just say they made it a lot more open than they did in Tomb Raider Legend. Like, Tomb Raider Legend, that's a great game and all, and I do like the motorcycle segments, but a lot of people, myself included, have kind of realized that it's a little bit painful to go through those areas on repeat playthroughs because you can't move on until you defeat certain enemies. How many rewards do we have right now? There is one more treasure in this area. And we found it. Alright, before you leave this area with the temple ruins and things like that, make sure you have 7 rewards if you're going for 100%. So without further ado, let's go over here, and I want to demonstrate something really awesome. if you hold the acceleration button and the brake at the same time, spinny! We can go all spinny and it's so amazing! Whee! I love that so much, it's so amazing! And it can actually defeat enemies that way, which we'll be demonstrating in a moment. But without further ado, let's go over here. And I just want to say this right now. There's a crossroad coming up right here. And it makes it seem like it's going to be a super open level. You can go in any direction you want. Don't go that way yet. Go this way towards the ruins. Because if you go the other way, we're going to talk about this more in a future episode. But if you go the other way first, then you are going to... There's a couple things I want to get first. If you go the other way first, then you're going to trigger a pretty game-breaking glitch, and the only way you can solve it is by going back to an autosave. It takes you to the start of this level again. I probably could have worded that a little bit better, but trust me, you don't want to activate that glitch. It's not very pleasant, and you're going to have to replay more of the game than you care about. There's another treasure around here somewhere I'm trying to find. I swear I did practice for this level. There it is. Shiny, shiny, shiny. Those jars that have nothing inside them always bother me. Because like, couldn't you have just modeled just one little thing to put in there? No? Okay, I see how it is.
The Mayan calendar had only 360 days, and the remaining 5 were the unnamed days. The Maya believed that each year when the unnamed days arrived, the gates to the Underworld would open.
And with that, we're ending this video off here. So thank you all so much for watching this episode of Tomb Raider Underworld, and the next time it's geared to you. Oh yeah.
Southern Mexico Expedition. The location of Thor's belt in Central America was easiest to pinpoint precisely on Odin's map, and I need it before I can use Thor's hammer anyway, so it's convenient to recover it first while Zip works on refining the precise location of Thor's hammer. Zip doesn't understand how I can continue the search after Alistair's murder, but I'm convinced that this path also leads straight to those responsible. And if Thor's hammer can indeed kill even the gods, then perhaps I will finally have the power to end Natla's immortal reign permanently. Poachers. This area is the most rural and lawless region of Mexico, remote enough that some of its farmers do not even speak Spanish, but Mayan. Far enough away that heavily armed men have moved in to poach the protected Black Panthers, or more precisely, metonistic jaguars. The poachers have dug out traps and must drive the panthers from throughout the surrounding area, unaware that the scattered ancient ruins are only a hint of what lies beneath. Mayan Ball Court. The rules to the game played on these courts are lost to history, but it's believed that it was played frequently and sometimes for high stakes, as the losing team was sacrificed to the gods. It is of particular interest to me, as it was believed that the Mayan underworld of Xibalba was underneath a ball court. Mayan calendar. The Maya had many calendars for various purposes. The solar calendar consisted of 18 months of 20 days each, which left 5 extra days to fill up the 365-day tropical year. Names of these months varied greatly over time and distance, but the 5 days were known as the Unnamed days. These days were feared because it was believed that the gates to the underworld were open during this time.